So welcome to your Team Medic course. This course is designed to prepare you as a rifleman the ability to delegate, prioritize, and enhance the survivability of one or more casualties within your section. This will ensure that the casualties are prepared to be evacuated to the regimental aid posts where further treatment can be given to them. You will be taught medical items that you carry and how to utilize them as a team medic within your section. So we're just going to have a little guessy game here about expectations of a team medic. If you can think of one, I'd like you to stand up. I think Thomas is chinning me off. Okay, Lynchford, whatever your name is.
Just do it. To carry around spare medical supplies, so in the event of heavy contact and all other section members' supplies being used up, you can resupply them.
Nope. Sit down. Thomas.
To know the correct procedure / what type of bandage to use on the different wounds.
Yeah, I suppose so. Down. Riley.
To assist retreating casualties before getting them to the medic.
Okay, cool. Does anybody else stand up? Nido?
To not be a hero.
Yes, that's a big one. Don't be a hero. What do I mean by do not be a hero? Oh, I think they're chinning me off, Gray.
We just got a room full of heroes. Might be a room, tent.
Thomas, what do I mean by do not be a hero?
Don't risk your own life to save someone else's.
Right, okay. So, does that mean bad guys are approaching? Okay, you've got to fucking get this guy up. You're getting shot.
Fuck.
Riley?
You should focus on taking out the enemy before you then switch to casualties.
Yeah. So you have to win the firefight. Okay, what I mean by don't be a hero is don't be a hero in the sense of I've got to get that casualty up. You remember, you are a rifleman first. So that is one of the first expectations of a team medic. Not be a hero. Second one, okay, is to communicate with your section by any means possible. This could be done on short-range radio, through loudness of voice, I don't care, as long as when that guy goes down, I should hear the following phrase. Anybody?
Man
Anybody
down.
bar, Anybody bar, Riley?
Don't be
And
here.
Thomas.
Man down.
Man down, man down, man down. Okay, very, very. Oh my God, he's playing with my chairs
We've
now.
done it again.
Run.
Yeah. So man down, man down, man down. Very, very important. This should be passed down through the section. It should be like a parrot. Okay. You shout man down. The next guy in front of you should be shouting man down, and the guy in front of him should be shouting man down, all the way down the chain, until everybody in the section is aware there is a man down. Another expectation of a team medic is that the team medic would be required to be effective first medical responder. Any casualty, he should be confident and organized and concentrated while he is doing his job. You don't use your brain, you're fucked. You're not organized, you're fucked. Okay? And then obviously, the don't be a hero, and also remember that you are a rifleman first, above all, okay? You don't get to be 3-med, except for Noodle, of course, because he is 3-med. Right, any questions regarding any of that? No, excellent, perfect. So, reaction to effective casualty treatment. So in battle, casualties are always gonna always going to happen. Okay. However, certain details which people would judge upon any casualty will make the difference between life or death. There is a saying from a chap called Urine Rommel: sweat saves blood, blood saves sweat and blood. I'd like you all to stand up. You need to shut your mouth.
Go just sit down again.
In
Then.
your own words, I want you to tell me what that phrase means to you. So, Riley, what does that mean to you?
Basically, if you work hard initially, then it will save you in the longer run.
Okay. Thomas, what does that phrase mean to you?
Well, I don't want to just copy Riley's exactly, so I'll go with when you sweat, you don't have to bleed, and with blood, you'll be able to keep going. I assume. But
Okay.
basically, what Riley said.
Archie?
I don't know, sometimes the best way to save someone is to fucking kill the person that's trying to kill them.
Okay. And dude?
Lapsford.
If you put effort in, you can avoid casualties. So, a practical example would be spend 2 hours digging a trench, you don't get shot.
Okay. Both of you two can sit down. Matter?
As Latchford said, if you spend effort, you'll save blood.
Okay. Done. Waterloo, or Lulu. I'm going to just call you Lou. That's cool.
Alright. To me, basically means the same. If you, well, I don't know which person here said it, but if you spill the blood of your enemy, it saves yourself sweat and blood.
Okay. Sit down. Instead?
To me, it means that if you're in a firefight, then you're going to have a hard time. Whereas if you win the firefight, then you can have an easy time getting people back into the fight.
Okay. Take a seat. Needle, front and centre.
Oh god. Hello.
What does it mean to you?
Basically, if you're smart and use your brains, it's gonna save you sweat and it's gonna save you blood because you're not being stupid about it and you're gonna be able to treat your casualty better. And if you sweat and you don't use your brains, it's gonna take longer, more effort. So if you're smart about it, it's gonna be less effort and it's gonna save you lives. Be smart.
Right, yeah. Use your brains. Do what you've been trained to do. You can do anything. That's what that fucking means to me. Alright, work hard. You can do anything, hence the sweat. Brains. I know what I'm doing. You ain't gonna die today. We also have another saying within Inside Medical, and that is, I'm gonna virtually fucking pronounce it now. Andelus Fidelis. Or in Adderus Fidelis, which is in the medical term, faithful in adversity. Okay? You're faithful to what you do, and you're faithful to your casualties, faithful to your unit, you're faithful to the company, you can achieve anything. As simple as that. So, moving on. Stand up if you remember what the word 8 stands for. Oh man.
Wait, 8?
You all should be standing up.
8 is in AEET?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Alpha Echo Echo Tango. I don't think it's good enough, Gray.
It's not fucking good enough. I think they should go through one.
Go. By the way, by the time you come back, you better be able to tell me what it is.
Let me just send someone a dick pic back.
Okay.
Right. Can you all tell me what 8 is? Yes? Can we all tell me what 8 is?
Please.
Yeah.
Sure?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Thomas, first A.
Is it alert?
It is alert. So, man down, man down, man down. Again, as we discussed before, should be like a pirate's process, going down the chain and so forth. Riley, tell me what E is.
The first one or the second one?
First one.
Eliminate.
Yeah, eliminate. Okay. Before you can deal with any casualty as a team medic, rifleman first. Kill the fucking contact. Get rid of it. You start to fucking treat somebody on the ground where you've got contact, and you go into this whole kind of bandaging thing. Bang. In the head. You're dead. Okay, not good. Okay, Lou,
Yes.
what is the second E?
Evacuate.
Evacuate, yeah. So we've eliminated, okay. We've still got a casualty. So now we're going to evacuate the casualty out of the kill zone. Okay. What in the field can you use to evacuate a casualty?
Smoke.
Suppression.
Yeah, okay, suppression, yeah, but we're evacuating. So you can use things like, I don't know, rocks, trees, sheds, vehicles, all that sort of thing. Get them out of the kill zone. 3 med will come and assist you when it's clear. Cool. And then who can tell me, in fact, actually we'll go for, who hasn't? We had Archie, final T.
Treat.
Treat. Yeah, so you've got them out of the kill zone. Your section's nice and still. Time to treat. Okay, we're going to look at another method in a second. This is where you then start your treatment. So within treat, we use another phrase called brace. This is spelt Bravo, Charlie, Charlie, Echo. Okay, thank you, Greg. So, first B here is bleeding. Okay, make sure that you stop this. You have to move, you slap tourniquets on. Trust me, they will help. Don't just think, tourniquets, the shit. No, actually, fucking tourniquets will fucking save a casualty's life.
Yeah, tourniquets are better at first. Tourniquets take 4 seconds to put on, bandages take 8. If you need to put tourniquets on, because they're bleeding heavily, you fucking put them on.
Yep. We'll talk about all the kit later on. So, we've done bleeding, okay? We've now, tourniquets are on, packing bandages or elastics are on. He's no longer bleeding. We can then move on to the next one, which is C. So is the casualty conscious? This will dictate what tier he is. Okay, so it'll tell you if he's a tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and so forth. Right? Next is the next C. So CPR. Okay, if he's conscious, the best tip I could actually give any of you in the field is if you're completely stopped, you've got an ARD around you, or you're in a nice secluded area, constantly be giving your casualty CPR. And why do you think we say give him CPR? Anybody stand up if you know the answer. Okay. Dude.
Cheating if I do.
Means
Give
that
CPR.
Stop. I said, dude. Is your name, dude? No, exactly. Right.
Means that we can keep him or her alive for longer so that 3 meg can get to them and give them proper medical aid.
Yeah, exactly. CPR has 2 features inside Arma. Okay. Sit down. That's it. Well done. I believe in you. You can do it. That's it. Well done. Okay, CPR has 2. Gray.
Instead, sit down. Just thought I'd fail the Scottish accent then. Oh,
Right, who thinks Gray should go for a run because of that shitty Scottish accent? Stand up
No.
if you think Gray should go for a run for taking a mick out of the instructor.
Come on, Gray.
I know what the alternative is.
Right. Come on, you all should be standing.
Gray.
You should all be standing right now.
no, there's
Gray,
more
come on.
people sat down.
Gray,
Oh,
Gray,
don't
come
you
on.
dare, Cupcake.
Yeah,
Don't you dare.
come on, sweetie.
Right,
come
Gray,
on.
go for a run.
Fuck.
And wait, come back
Ask,
here.
ask them. I've got
While you're
questions
running
last.
to that tree, you're going to shout, "I will not be a cunt." Go,
I can't do that. That's
Go.
actually against my life rules.
go.
Okay, I will not be a cunt. I will not be
I'm
a
just
cunt.
praying that we'll hear his mother scream, "Gray, how dare you!"
Yep, so CPR, okay, has 2 features with inside of Armor. One, it will restart the heart, okay, or it will help restart the heart if somebody goes into what we call cardiac arrest. Secondly, you can keep somebody's timer up. If somebody goes unconscious, they enter what we call a timed state. They don't get medical treatment, I mean serious medical treatment, their timer will start to decrease. But giving them CPR will keep that timer from decreasing. So keep giving it, even though they've got a heart rate. It sounds stupid, but it's just an Armor thing, okay?
I've got a
Obviously,
question.
the real world... Shut up, you. In the real world, you would never do that. Why not? Oh, come on. Somebody has to know basic first aid here. Right, Metar.
Giving CPR might do some problems to the heart or the lungs
Yeah,
if he's already breathing or have a heart pulse.
yeah. So there's no point giving somebody CPR if they've got a heart rate, is there? Plus, you're probably going to stop their heart by giving them CPR, and you're also probably going to break the ribs as well. Not great. You're going to get sued big time. Right, you had a question.
Yeah, question. When do you not perform CPR?
Ooh, that's a good one. Okay, Riley?
When they're conscious.
Nope, sit down. Anybody else?
I expect you over there. Stand up.
What was the question I was trying to do in the situation? Some guy keeps sending me dick pics, he
Right.
won't stop, I'm scared.
Right, 2 seconds. Let me sort this out. Take folding chair. Noodle, come and sit in this chair.
Why?
Okay, this
This is
chair is the question chair.
Sexist.
Okay?
Sexist.
Nope. Why do you never give CPR when somebody is...
Oh, wrong question.
Wrong question. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
When do you not give CPR?
You don't give CPR when someone's bleeding.
Okay, why not?
Did I get it right?
Yeah.
Because you don't want them to keep bleeding.
Yeah,
Yes.
you think
You
about
restart the
somebody's got...
heart,
Okay,
it'll continue
somebody's just got
pumping
letting
blood.
up with a GPMG, right? They've got a lot of bullet holes in them, trust me. Okay, that fucking thing, that scares me. It gives me nightmares, right? And then you're constantly giving CPR and it's squishy blood out the holes. Guess what? You are turned into a fucking jelly thing now. You've got no blood in you. Alright, you, sit up and go and sit in that chair. In fact, bring a chair in closer, please.
Noodle.
Sorry,
Go
I'm
ahead.
trying to...
Yeah.
I'm having issues.
Okay, cool.
I like that chair.
Then finally we have E, embrace, which is evacuate again. Okay. Now, this evacuate is slightly different. Okay. This evacuation is: do we need to get them to the regimental aid post? Do 3 med need to come in and evacuate them? Do we need to get them on a big flappy thing up in the sky? That sort of thing. Okay. So yes, it's still evacuation, but this is more at a platoon CMT level where we're now thinking, right, we've got this casualty, we've been handed it over, we've had our misstat report. Okay, we're now going to evac them. We're going to take them back to RAP or something like that. Or sometimes you might have a mass cast situation where 90% of your section is down. Unsafe for 3 men to come in. You guys may have to evacuate to the regimental aid post. Is that clear to everybody? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, they're very quiet, Grey.
I know.
Okay. I'm going to pass you off to Grey. Grey is going to talk about tiers.
Ooh, tears.
This is the answer chair, so if you ask somebody, make sure they sit in there.
I'm not asking you, dude. I asked you the other day. Okay. Can someone tell me what a tier 1 is? Tier 1 casualty.
Sit in the chat.
Go for it, everyone.
Yeah, you go for it.
So tier 1 is when they're usually unconscious and severely injured.
Okay, yep. So get you back in your other chair. Okay, yeah, so a tier 1 is when a casualty is unconscious, they've lost a lot of blood, or if they are severely injured and are about to go unconscious. Okay, they don't always have to be unconscious. If you know someone has lost that much blood or is in that much pain that they're about to go unconscious, or they're going in and out of consciousness, then they are tier 1. So, and then also tier 1 are top priority over everything else when it comes to casualties, as they're most likely to die. Therefore, they need treatment straight away. But naturally, you follow all your other shit first. Okay, tier 2. Okay, that's for mate. Chair. Do you want? We need to have an electric chair where if you get it wrong, you get zapped.
That would be amazing. Oh. Wait, no. You do. It's called a defib.
Can I,
Okay, go for it, mate.
Tier 2 is when they are combat ineffective. This mainly involves them having wounds to their legs or to their arms, preventing them from running or aiming effectively.
Okay, with that answer, you just made the Mitchell orgasm, so go and sit back in your chair.
Well done, you. You're my favourite private now, tell you. Sit down now.
Yeah, so a
Not
tier
quite.
2
It wasn't
is...
hard neutral.
Shit.
can I borrow a defib, Mitchell?
Nudo,
I'll practice.
would
I'll
you
get
like them
angry
to
this
go for a
time.
run?
You got to understand, Noodles 3 meds, as he gets special protection.
Right, next.
So tier 2 is exactly what Ashley said. They are combat ineffective, so they either have a broken arm, broken leg. With that, it means they cannot keep up with section movements or formations, or they can't aim for shit. Therefore, they need to be fixed up and casevac. Okay, tier 3. Okay, have you done one already, mate? You haven't you? Sit down. Alright, Thomas, mate.
Special chair.
Trust you to take the easy one.
Yeah, I tried tier 1 as well.
You know every single one of these.
No.
You fucking do.
Tier 3 is someone who is still combat effective but has sustained some form of injury. Can be to, again, whatever part for tier 3, but is normally a lighter wound. Basically, it's never a heavy velocity wound.
Yep, that's cool.
Or large.
Go to your chair. Yep. Okay, yeah, so a tier 3 is what we call walking wounded. And they can still keep up with their section in movements and formations, and they can still aim. Well, some people can still aim, or some people can't aim. But they aim a lot better than a tier 2 if they are slightly wounded. And they can only keep themselves patched up until they get over to 3 med and we'll stitch them up. Okay, what is a tier 4? No one knows what a tier 4 is.
Yeah, but it takes a while to stand up.
Okay, so only 3 people know what a tier 4 is. Cool, yep, take a seat. Go on, actually, you can do it.
I'll take
Go
the
for
seat, what, so I can take it and walk off with it?
if you wanted to. I'm not sure much shoot you, but you can do if you want.
I'll take my chances.
More likely.
It's just dead, isn't it?
You're just fucked.
Gonzos.
And how do you know if they're dead?
Only 3 med does.
No heart rate. Well, yeah, you can't, I can't, a normal infantryman, team medic can't classify someone's T4 themselves, but, yeah, dead.
Okay, I'm going to show you a trick. Do you want to get back in your seat? There's the mod on this server, or on the main server, that even if you see someone spaz out and do the whole ragdoll physics shit,
Yeah, you
doesn't
can't do the
mean
whole-
that they're dead.
But you can't drag them if they're dead.
Again, but you would never ever say that someone's tier 4 over the radio to your mate next to you or anything. You are not officially qualified to say that someone is tier 4.
What
you
if you
would
see
do-
red paste?
What you see what?
Red paste.
Right,
Red
so what
mist?
happens, Red Mist? Yeah, if you see that they have died and they have disappeared, then you can tell your IC that they have turned into pink mist.
God help you if you get Noodle. Noodle will be like, yeah, he's dead, Jim.
I don't think even Noodle can.
I thought it
I
was
don't even
Dave.
think God can help you then.
Hang on. What? Right. Honey. Watch yourself.
Yes, darling.
Because when you're in front of me on the floor, I'm going to giggle at you and go, oh, look, maybe I can't do anything. You know?
Hey, I'm going to be laughing
Watch
when
it,
I'm on
Sweet
the
Pea.
floor.
Watch it.
Brilliant. Okay. I love Noodle. She's got a backbone.
Oh,
of
and
her.
Noodle. Who's to say I don't want it?
Enough.
Oh, be
Enough.
careful.
Right. So, with that being said, we discussed all the tiers there. So, a tier 1 casualty, do they have to be unconscious to be classed as a T1 casualty?
No.
Okay, explain why.
Well, if they're drifting in and out of consciousness, or they're in a serious condition that, if left untreated, means they will die, or without 3
Okay,
meds,
so-
they will die.
Serious condition. What would you class as serious condition?
Numerous large velocity wounds, so if they've been lit up at point blank range, that's a pretty good sign.
Yep.
Yeah, just lots of heavy wounds. Obviously, I don't know
okay,
the
so for
exact names,
myself,
that's why I'm here.
to declare you as a T1 in the field, there are certain rules that must exist before you can say, yeah, no, this guy's a pretty tier 1. Either 100% of his body is red in the medical menu, or half of his body is red, but a very, very low heart rate and blood pressure. Okay? If you know that this guy is going to probably keel over on you, then there's a good chance that he's T1. Okay? Cool. You happy with all the questions, comments there?
Yeah, it's alright. It's
Yeah.
actually pretty good. Yeah, I wouldn't say bad.
Okay, cool.
Actually, I have one question for them, actually.
Good.
What do you call a tier 1 that wakes up?
Tier 1.
Tier 1.
A shit joke.
Wrong. He's a tier 2. He's woken up, he's no longer unconscious, you patched him up, you gave him blood and everything.
Hey, you didn't say you patched him up. You just said he woke up.
He still
Yeah.
woke up. Even if he
They're
wakes up and
drifting in and out of
stays
consciousness.
awake, if he
Yeah.
stays awake, he's tier 2.
The question's flawed.
Not really.
Rightio. So we're going to do this as a team, me and Gray now. We're now going to talk about body vital signs. Okay. So body vital signs. You've got your blood pressure and your heart rate. In fact, actually, no, we're not going to discuss that first. I want everybody to stand up and go to a chap over there, please.
Can I tickle one?
No.
Come on, Noodle.
What's this guy's name?
Cupcake.
Betty. Oh. Who's that? Who's that? I saw one on the end.
Noodle gets the ugly one.
Oh, I don't want it! No, it has a little goatee. It looks like Mitchell.
Get
Oh,
back.
Mitchell, this is weird. Look, it's literally identical to you. I'm scared.
Right, everybody, go for a run. Noodle fucked up.
If we can escape.
Can we execute Order 66?
You touch me, I'll fucking choke slam you.
Why wasn't I allowed my eye law loadout?
Okay, wait. That's good, chat.
They asked if they could execute me. I'm scared.
No, we
I'm
have to
gonna go with this one.
execute Order 66.
Oh, 66. I love it.
I'm pretty
Different
sure it's
thing.
killing someone.
Killing everyone.
It's killing all the Jedi.
To understand,
He's quiet.
You on Whisper?
oh man. Right, there we go.
No.
Understand blood pressures.
You're
fast,
still on
please.
Whisper.
I bloody am not.
There you go.
Right, now?
Thanks.
Yeah.
No, you're fine now. You're fine, Dandy.
I think you're chinning me off.
No, I'm not treating
Right.
you off at all.
Okay, so understand blood pressures. Okay. We need to know what the two numbers mean. So, we all know how to open our advanced medical menus, yes?
Yes.
Yep.
Excellent. Right, please do so now on your guy.
Knockout guys, they're called Mitchell clones.
Oh, well, this guy's called Simon Town.
Okay, I would like you all to take the blood pressure of your individual. Okay, on the bottom right, you'll be presented with two figures. It's 3 numbers slash, and then the further numbers after it. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, so this is what we call systolic and dystonic blood pressures. Okay, so step forward. In fact, come to me if you know the difference between systolic and dystonic.
I think.
Needle, get back over there.
Aww.
Right, Thomas, come stand in front of everybody. Tell them what systolic and dystonic is.
See how much I can remember from my fucking exams. I think systolic is blood pressure in the arteries, and dystolic is the blood pressure in the veins.
Okay, sit down. I'll go back rather.
Thanks.
Okay, systolic and dystonic. Okay, systolic. Okay, is the pressure of the blood being pumped around the body. Dystonic is the heart at rest when the blood is not being pumped through your body. Okay, so the best way that I kind of get people to visualize this is to clench your fist as if you want to, I don't know, raise it at Noodle because she made you go for a run just now. Okay, clench it and open it. As soon as you open it, you'll be presented with your palm. This is your heart pumping the blood through your body. When you clench it again, this is now your body at rest and your heart not pumping anything. For every systolic level, there must be, for every systolic level, there must be a dystonic as well. Now, rule of thumb, when we go and talk about blood pressures, which we will be doing in a moment, you always look after the first number. If you look after the first number, you don't need to worry about the second number. Okay? The second number will look after itself as long as you're looking after the first number. Excellent. Right, take a seat.
Oh crap, Mike was muted. I think I set it up wrong because it set blood pressure normal for me. It didn't show any numbers.
No. Go on and break it, please. Actually, no, I can unbreak it.
I can't break it.
You didn't take a team medic slot.
That would probably explain.
Case medical, assign medic. Right, try it now.
Mitchell
Yeah,
is probably
it's
the
fine
same
now.
case with me.
Alright,
It's working.
everybody
Cheers.
stand the fuck up.
People can't do orders
You
properly.
make a line in front of me. Sign. Sign.
Oh, yeah. Do I need to go get in a line? Okay. Yeah, I'm in free med. I'm not a chicken a bit.
Right, everybody go and test your blood pressures on the dice.
Oh, mine worked. Oh.
If it worked before, it'll still work, so just go
Oh
and
my
sit down.
god. I got sent a dick pic, right? From
Noodle,
Reborn.
I don't
Yeah.
want to know.
I'm speaking to Gray.
No,
Kind of important.
and you're on time, please.
I'm getting fucked by this.
Noodle, pull it in, please. No need to sit all the way over there by yourself. Let me take this chair.
Ha! I cannot have it.
Oh, that's so close.
Okay, so what is, with blood, there's a vital component that is needed, especially blood being pumped to the brain. What do you think that could be?
Oxygen.
Oxygen. Why do you need oxygen? Obviously to breathe, but in the blood.
Because it transports, well, said oxygen to all your cells and muscles and literally everything, and without it, they will asphyxiate and die.
Yeah, pretty much. You need oxygen in the blood. Too much oxygen in the blood, though. What effect would that have?
They would die from oxygen toxicity.
Yes, to oxygen toxicity. It would also affect your blood rates, blood pressures, and so forth. This isn't obviously a feature with inside Arma, because I breathe like a motherfucker, and I should be like full of air. I'm not dying. But in the real world, you would oxygen starvation, oxygen toxicity, and so forth. But it does affect your blood pressures and your heart rates and so forth. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to hand over to my lovely assistant here, and he's going to talk to you about blood pressures and heart rates.
Woo! Okay, guys, so I'm going to do blood pressure first, as we've just been going on about it. So all the numbers I'm going to give you now are all systolic. Okay, they're not dystolic in there, they're all systolic. Don't worry about that. As Mitchell says, if you take care of that one, it will take care of itself. Okay, so a low blood pressure, and you should all be writing this down, because I ain't going to repeat it because I can't be asked. A low blood pressure is 20 to 100. Everyone got that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. A medium/normal blood pressure is 100 to 160. Okay, and a high blood pressure is anything above 160. So, a quick question. What do you think happens when your systolic blood pressure gets to 260?
You die.
Might be
You pass out.
Yep, you're going to cardiac arrest.
Yep. Very high risk of death there.
Yep. If you ever see someone that high, then, you should probably be calling us. So we can do our thing. I also mean 3 med. Okay, so I'm going to move on to heart rate. So take it, you've all got them figures. If you need me to say them again, just let me know. I will say them, and I said I wouldn't. I will. Everyone got them, yeah?
Yeah, what was their heart attack? Was it 260?
260, yeah. Above 260, 260 and above, it will go into cardiac arrest. So the truth is, get anywhere close to that, it should be, something should be done about it in the first place. What you've got to understand as well within Arma is that suppression and being in combat actually affects the heart rate, as I'm sure you can imagine.
I'm going to demonstrate that now, actually. So just wait one.
Yeah.
I want you all to make a line on the road.
Oh, it's everything. Yeah, you
Nice
do that.
line, just there.
Spoke about heart rate, yeah, but yeah. Yo.
I can see this going bad.
Yeah, I can see you going bad as well.
Which way are we
No,
going?
not in front of those guys. Bring it over here.
Oh god.
Who was shooting?
We're not. 2 seconds.
Oh, fuck. I'm gonna hide. See you in a bit, guys.
Not a line, my dudes. This is not a line by any stretch of
Oh,
the
no.
imagination.
Hey, we're about to be shot. Curse some slack.
Oh, he's driving as well. He's brave today.
We're about to get run over.
Oh, he's crashed.
That's what I mean. He's brave. He's driving.
Anyone else fancy ducking?
Do you think he realises that that times?
Right, what I want everybody to do before we do this test is take your blood pressures.
That's my ready.
And hopefully it's not just server 1 that it does it in.
Stand back up.
Right.
Yo.
Got it, Lashford?
Yeah.
Right, stand back up.
Not all.
I
I'm
just
not
recommend earplugs.
Oh, yes. Thank
Why
you.
is
That's
Mitchell
it,
driving?
Goblins.
Put your
Grey.
earplugs in.
Grey.
Yo.
Why is Mitchell driving?
I know. It's dangerous,
He's
isn't it?
not driving. Didn't happen.
No, it's nothing's happening. It doesn't work on the server.
No, it does. We had it. We doing section training, and I got absolutely raked by suppression.
Yeah, if that didn't work, we're going to try something else. Stand by.
Right, it didn't work for me.
Yeah, no, but no, that didn't work. But we were on yesterday and we got
I
raked by
can't give
suppression.
0 fucks.
Get spawners in a jumper.
Yeah, I think it's
I'll do it.
What are you trying to do?
trying to get us.
Okay, you just okay.
Right, check your
Why
blood
don't you
pressures.
just throw a flashbang?
I think I just injured
Alright,
somebody
well,
as
I'm
well.
now bleeding, so...
Yeah, I'll heal
Come
you.
here. Come
You
here.
shot me in the
Sorry.
No
leg!
change.
At least it was the expendable member of the group.
No, I resent that. She is one of the best, actually.
Yeah.
Sorry, who said that?
That one.
Get back in line. Right.
Mitchell!
Did those heart rates change any?
No.
No.
Blood
No.
pressures did not
Mine
change.
did!
Who
Yeah,
got
but
shot?
you would
Shot,
have
though.
shot, you fucking idiot. Fucking idiot. Okay. In the server 1, what will basically happen, as soon as you start getting suppressed, okay, obviously your heart rate is going to be affected, you're going to be shitting yourself, okay? And then that is going to raise your blood pressure, okay? You need to be careful, because too much suppression will put that blood rate up and the blood pressure up, and you're going to need drugs to bring you back down again. Keep that in mind.
Not always. What I do sometimes, if you're treating someone who has a very high heart rate or high blood pressure due to being in combat, sit them in a corner somewhere, let them chill out for a few minutes if they have that opportunity. and it should come down gradually. If you know, especially you guys who are going to be CTMs, you're not going to have the drugs that we have to actually lower the heart rates. So that might be the best tip for you.
Yeah, you gotta be careful. Obviously, you guys, as Grace said, you're not gonna have drugs to do this. But at the same time, best thing to do if you see somebody with extremely high heart rate or blood pressure, I'll be thinking, well, what can we do to make this guy's life a little bit easier? Should we call 3 med in? Should we not call 3 med in? Is he gonna be fine? It's all about those numbers. Cool. Go and take a seat.
Cool, I'll go for heart rate next. Yeah. Okay, heart rates. So we all know what heart rate is. So I'm going to tell you the different numbers for a low, medium, normal, and high heart rate. Okay, I'll give you a few other stats as well. So a low heart rate is 45 and below. Please put 45 and below and not below 45, because 45 is when it goes as low. Okay. A normal / medium heart rate is 46 to 119. Okay, and a high heart rate is 120 and above.
Yep. Okay. But that being said, what's a resting heart rate?
80.
You should know what a resting heart rate is. Sorry?
Yeah, Riley just said 80, I believe.
Yeah, it's about 80.
80, yeah. That's a resting heart. That's you just sitting at the computer right now, unless you're absolutely shitting yourself to get to be on this course. Resting heart rate of 80. Cool.
Yeah.
Right.
So you can check that. I've got 2 more figures to give you. If a heart rate goes below 20, they're going to go into cardiac arrest. If it goes above 200, they're also going to go into cardiac arrest.
Yeah. You got to be really careful with these heart rates. Got to keep it, paying it careful attention to them.
Again, you can boost up. I've seen him over 160 after someone's been in a heavy firefight. So you can have them.
What was the upper range for the heart rate?
The upper one, the high.
No, for the heart attack.
For the heart attack, 200, above 200.
Yeah. Now,
yeah, so again,
that being said, tourniquets. If you have a tourniquet on, is it worth actually giving somebody a blood pressure check?
No.
Why not?
Because it will increase the blood pressure.
Will it increase it? Does everybody agree with that statement?
It will stop the blood flow.
Where's my little pumpkin? There he is. Will it decrease?
Aww.
I believe it'll decrease because it'll be less blood flowing around the body, therefore the pressure will be smaller.
Yeah. You've got to be careful. Tourniquets will give you the wrong blood pressure every bloody time. It doesn't until you take them off and you get decent blood flowing again, or you get the correct actual blood pressure. Excellent. Right. Do you have anything more to add on blood pressure and heart rates real quick?
No, unless you want to talk about tourniquets for a minute.
No. Right. You've all got a 5-minute break. In fact, no, I'll give you 10 minutes. Go for a drink. Go for a pee. You're going to step away. Please take a knee. Rest of you, talk amongst yourselves.
Great.
Yep.
Help me.
Okay, putting a timer on. You are.
Okay, I'm thinking, yeah, you're T1, mate. You're going to cope it. It's T2. You aren't able to keep up with your section bar drills. You're unable to keep in formation. You need somebody to carry you. That is tier 2. Also, you could be unconscious and just walking back up again.
I fucking hate people.
Okay.
These fucking platforms. Fucking girl plays a fucking game.
So that's T2.
Does that make sense to you, yeah?
Yeah. And tier 3, what's the difference? Tier 3
is somebody that has got just light wounds. I mean, cuts, scrapes. He might have a velocity wound in the chest, but is still able to keep up with section maneuvers, still able to do his job, basically.
So he can still run and move fast.
Sorry?
So he can still run and move quickly and aim.
Yes.
Alright.
The tier 3 isn't priority, we'll put it that way. Any other questions?
Fucking disgusting.
No? Excellent.
So they won't
Up
do
on
any
related.
fucking through the top units you leave on, yeah?
Because, I mean, we've all been told, yeah, you can't leave one on longer than 5 minutes or you start to feel pain. But
Yep.
after it's
He has, you have no bandages left.
Because this is a form of bullying.
Okay,
and
he's now
harassment.
complaining
You're
that he's in
endorsing
pain.
by not doing anything
Okay,
about it.
are you going to
Or
remove
you
that
could write
tourniquet?
a letter and let the whole community know, and then you could go to over.
No.
Will you remove that tourniquet? He said
Hell
that.
no.
No, exactly. You need him to suck it up and get on with it until you can get bandages, get to us, and all that kind of shit. Okay? Don't just think because there's a limitation of 5 minutes of pain. That is more for okay, he's been bandaged up. Yeah, obviously, if you bandaged him up, you're not going to want to put that tourniquet back on, or you want to take it off him, because obviously it's then going to cause unnecessary pain. It's going to affect the blood pressures and the heart rates, and that's not a good situation to be in. So it's all about using your little knock.
Since last Wednesday.
Have you still got a tourniquet on? Like, fuck me. Don't leave it on. Just take it off. If it's bandaged, take it off. You can always reapply it again. But also, a tip to remember. If you want to keep your tourniquets, okay? If you put a tourniquet on, I'd say, I don't know, he takes off that tourniquet. Alright, are you guys ready to continue, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Archie? In fact, no. Yeah, Archie, come here. Come here. Go to Gray, okay, and say, I hope you're enjoying your mother's meeting, but the boss wants you back up here. Otherwise, you're both going for a run.
Oh.
Come and get me yourself.
Actually,
Why don't you
I
come and
think
get me
you should send him
yourself?
for a run anyway.
Hey, Joe.
Right,
Can I do
Dino,
it?
Gray, go for a run.
I still have we still have 2 minutes left.
Go for a run.
Yeah, we'll do.
Bad boy.
By the way,
Can you
make sure you're
switch
on
to
that
normal? I
whisper
can't
again.
hear you.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, I'm back on normal. Whose blood's this? Who got injured?
You
It
shot
was me when
Mata.
you shot me.
Oh, wait, I thought we did the shooty thing over there.
No, you
it was
shot
no,
just
no.
a second ago.
Was he?
Oh, fuck me, yeah, that just shows how bad Daddy Mitchell fucking your memory is. Alright, cool. Everybody take a seat. Oh man, he gets slower every time.
Probably because he's got free med gear on.
Yeah, rip him.
You taking the piss?
Yeah.
Just a little. Also, real world stuffs as well. So, stand up if you can tell me what a contusion is.
Something bad.
Oh my god. Nobody know what a contusion is?
One person.
Oh man. Right, Riley, what's a contusion?
Isn't it where the flesh is crushed?
Sorry?
No, it's not.
What did you say?
The flesh is crushed.
No, definitely not. Well, kind of. A little bit. He is right and he's wrong. Limstead, what's a contusion?
I thought it was a bruise.
It is a bruise, which
I reckon he just
kind
googled
of
it.
is crushed skin and
Yeah,
kind
that's
of
what I
not.
was getting at. But
Did you just
flesh.
Google
Yeah,
it? But you
No.
just googled it, didn't you?
I think he's
I'm
a
looking
Googler.
at a free
Yeah,
medical document from 2 years ago.
right. Yeah.
That's
So,
a lie.
Limstead, go for a run.
Damn it.
Shoot him in the leg first.
Ooh, tempting.
No, because we'll be here all night. Don't go as far. Go to that tree. Yeah, so it is a bruise. Pretty simple. Now, when he gets back, excellent, right. So, bruises. Gray is now going to demonstrate a situation where a medic brings me a guy with a bruise. Okay, go.
What the hell am I doing? When
You're demonstrating a casualty being brought to me because they have a bruise. What do I do?
designated casualty. He normally looks at him like that. Slowly looks at him. And tells him to fuck off. You fucking pussy.
Yeah, it literally comes at it like this. I'll be looking at the medical menu. I'll go, oh, okay, you've got a bruise. Head slowly comes up. It goes like this. And it goes, back off. I don't want bruises. All I'm concerned about is people that are really fucked up. Okay, there's far too many people go, ah, help me, I'm injured, oh, it hurts, please help, I'm a pansy. And I look at it and it's a bruise.
I know what
I'm
we
like,
should
dude,
start doing.
are you fucking, are you literally serious, or are you just wasting my time? No, I don't like bruises. If you get a bruise, right, tell them to man up. Do you honestly think I'm going to give you any sort of medication for a bruise? The answer is no. I don't give a shit about bruises. There's nothing I can do about bruises. Unless you want me to casevac you for a bruise and put you on a flappy thing up in the sky where you're going to be in there for 40 minutes for a bruise. Because the only way to repair a bruise is either you let it disappear and throughout time, or if you go back to base and you get an insta-heal. That's the only way you're getting rid of bruises. Cool. Right. What is a velocity wound? Stand up if you know. Oh, we've got 3, 4. Okay. Noodle better be standing up. Okay, Thomas, what is a velocity wound?
A velocity wound is a wound caused by something travelling at high velocity, like a bullet or shrapnel, etc., etc.
Yep.
Just a
Okay,
penetrating
yeah,
wound.
so typically a velocity wound, okay, is an injury that basically has an exit wound, okay? So a bullet has entered your body, for example, and has created an exit on the opposite side, so it's gone straight through. Okay. Okay, bang. Velocity wound 101, right? But the velocity, because of the impact, you've now created a contusion, a bruise, a puncture wound, a contusion, all that kind of jazzerinos of the day. So just be careful. Velocity wounds, in the real world anyway, bleed not so bad. You gotta think. Oh no, sorry, I'm telling you the wrong one. Velocity wounds bleed like motherfuckers in the real world. Why do you think that is?
Because
you've been shot.
There's a big hole in you.
You've got
Gives
a big
2
fuck off
holes.
hole. You've got 2 holes, yeah. Literally, you're bleeding like a motherfucker. Okay. Which now takes us to a puncture wound. Okay, so stand up if you know what a puncture wound is. Noodle, what is a puncture wound?
A puncture wound is when an object has entered the skin and entered, your flesh and has come out again, leaving a small hole or slit.
No.
Ah, no. Right.
Okay.
That was the one we were just talking about yet.
No, because it didn't come out the other side.
No, velocity wounds come out, got to have an exit wound. That's why velocity wound has an entry wound and an exit wound.
Yeah,
a puncture wound
doesn't.
only
It enters
has.
the skin.
Yeah, but it only has an
It
enter
stops
wound.
inside your body.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
it
imagine
stops
someone
with
being
inside your
stabbed.
It
body.
came out the outside the side though, did I?
You said it had an exit.
No, I didn't. I said it enters
Yeah,
the
you
flesh.
said it comes out again.
You did. You said
Yeah,
exit.
it comes out like it goes in and out like the same hole. Like it doesn't create. Oh, my English is. You know
What, is
what?
that like if you're
I'm
hit
gonna
by a
cry.
boomerang or something?
I'm gonna throw
Okay,
a fucking knife at
moving
your
on.
throat, and then we'll see what kind of punch wound
No,
comes out of that
enough.
one.
Alright,
No, I'm getting
Dobby.
angry. It's not fair. They're being
Enough.
mean to me.
enough.
No.
Right. So, a puncture wound, typically, we'll say a bullet has entered the body. Okay, it's stopped about midway. It doesn't tend, in the real world, it doesn't bleed like crazy. Because why?
Fuck.
Okay,
Only one
Thomas?
Uh,
One
the
hole. Okay.
the thing that made the puncture is blocking it.
Yeah, so basically the bullet has gone in. Okay. It is stopped. It is blocking the blood from making you bleed. Okay. Now, in armor, that wound is a serious wound. We class that as a serious wound. Okay. It doesn't matter if that bullet's still in you in armor. You're gonna bleed like a motherfucker. As simple as that. Okay. What we got next? Crushed tissue. Or crushed wound, should I say. Stand up if you know what this is. Riley.
It's when it has been crushed. Typically found
Yeah.
when something's hit it.
Okay, so typically you would get crushed wounds from falling from great heights, buildings, pescal barriers, and we class that as broken legs, broken arms, all that sort of things. You getting that sort of injury, then you're T2, because you're obviously not going to be able to keep up with your section maneuvers, you're combat ineffective, you're limping everywhere, you're no good to nobody. Now, crushed tissue in armor still bleeds, but it's not crazy amounts. It's livable. It still has to be dealt with. We'll talk about the bandaging later on for that particular injury. What we got next, Gray?
Avulsion.
Abrasion.
Abrasion shit.
What is an abrasion?
Scratching.
Somebody that hasn't
shit.
already been. Thomas, sit down. Riley, sit down. Lynchford, have you already been? I think you've already said one. Sit down. Archie, what's an abrasion?
Like scratching. Something. You know,
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
like abrasive.
Okay, so has anybody, in fact, you all probably done it, you've got your first bike or your first skateboard, and you've gone down the road going, hey, Mum, look at me, no hands, and you've fallen off. Okay? And as you've hit the deck, you've scraped your knee. And after a couple of days, that scrape has turned into the weirdest and ugliest bloody scrape and messy scab on your knee. Did we all have that before?
Yeah, I'm
Sure, we've
sure.
all had that
Yeah,
before.
off my mobility scooter.
Okay, that is what that is. Okay, it's horrible. It's disgusting. But with Inside Armor, again, it's another one that you have to look at seriously, because armor physics and stuff, it just thinks it's a velocity wound or something. But it will bleed, but it won't bleed as much as the velocities. Cool. Abrasions, laceration. I'm gonna pick on. What am I gonna pick on this time? Instead,
Laceration
he's like,
is
wait a minute, just let me check Google.
It's a clean cut.
It's a clean cut. Would you say it's a clean cut?
Hell no.
No.
Laceration
No,
is
no.
wounds with ragged edges used by a large force against the body by an internal and external force, i.e. punches or vehicle crashes.
The best way to look at it is, say somebody's just punched you in the face, okay, and they've torn open the eyebrow. You see it all the time on all these films their face is bleeding beside the eyebrow. This is because they've got a big gash, big slice in the top of their eyebrow or face or wherever it is. This is a bleeder with inside armor. It's fucking nasty. You need to get on top of it. Cool, right. Abrasions, lacerations,
Don't think it's an
avulsions. Yeah,
or cuts.
avulsion. No, we haven't done avulsion. Avulsion. Right, Archie, you stood up.
It's like chunks of flesh missing, like torn or just gone.
Yeah, it's nasty. It's fucking nasty. What do you think could cause such a wound?
Mine, grenade, very
Mine,
large caliber
grenades.
weapon. If a
Yeah.
50 cal hits you in the leg.
Yeah,
what
that,
net
if
pitch
that
one
thing
never
fucking
said?
hits you in the nose, it's going to rip your nose off, isn't it? Okay,
Bites.
it's... Go ahead.
Bites cause avulsions. Being bitten.
Yeah. You can imagine
No one
also
ever
being
says
in a
that one.
vehicle crash. Severe vehicle crash. I'm talking about 50-mile-an-hour crash. You could find body parts missing. You'd be coming to me then going, Doc, is it going to fall off?
Yes.
Right, cool. I think that's it. Oh, cuts. Yeah, we all know cuts. Cuts are basic. They can be quite annoying with inside armor. Cuts tend to bleed. I wouldn't say they bleed massively. They're my last concern. Obviously, my last concern is the bruise, but cuts depends on how many you have. Depends on how many bandages you're obviously going to be putting on the goddamn thing as well. Sometimes it's not a case of just I'll chuck this bandage on it. Sometimes it could take 4 or 5, maybe even 6 bandages just to deal with one little tiny cut. It's a freaking pest. Simple as that.
Right, the thing that I would like to chuck in is the wounds, it doesn't matter what type of wound it is, also depends on the size and depends on how much pain the casualty is going to be and how much blood they're going to lose. I can tell you right now that a large velocity wound is going to bleed like anything. It is probably the worst bleeder out there. On top of that, it's probably a crush after that. That's not a lie, a avulsion. But there are different wounds of different sizes, cause different amounts of pain and bleed different amounts. So the two that I always keep an eye on is your avulsions and your velocity wounds, because they're the ones that bleed and hurt the most.
Mm-hmm. Okay, right. So now we're just going to talk a bit about mass cast. So everybody on your feet, follow me.
Are you going to die now?
Do they make you fall asleep?
No.
Sleep.
I have a grenade in there or something.
So
That's cool, mate. Go on, I'm going to mess with you, mate.
this is a
I'm not
basic
gonna do it
mock-up, but how
I'm
many
not
of you
serious.
have... Oh, we got everybody here. Okay, this is a basic mock-up. How many of you have seen this sort of structure around 3 med in the field before?
Me.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Thomas, you should have seen it many times.
I landed by one. Landed near one.
Okay, this is what we call a regimental aid post. Normally, it is built with vehicle trenches. Okay? It offers us protection to heal and do our stuff without getting shot at too much. Unless it comes from that direction to that direction. That's when we're fucked. Okay? So, basically, when you get a mass cast situation and you are told, right, I want my tier 1s outside, I want my tier 2s outside, and I want my tier 3s there, and where is it? There. And the rest of you, I want an ARD around the RIP. Now, what is the worst thing an infantryman could be doing when they come into my RAP. This is open to the
Laying
floor.
mines.
Anybody can say.
Helping you
What?
to treat stuff.
What?
Gray, do a demonstration of what happens on a regular basis
I'm
in
hurt,
my
I'm hurt, I'm
RAP.
hurt. Hey, me, bleed, fix me. Ah!
Do you think I want to hear that shit? There's a reason why you're here. I know that you need patched out. Okay, literally come in. Hi, Doc. I think I'm tier 2. Okay, and I'll say, right, stand that side. Okay, I'm tier 3. Yeah, no problem, dude. Go and put yourself out in ARD for me, please. We need to concentrate. Okay? But at times, you guys, the team medics, are going to be assisting us. We're going to be like, oh my god, okay, there's a mass gas coming in. We need help. Right. Mr. Lou here. I need you to give him CPR. You need to give him CPR. This sort of thing. You will be utilized. If you're in my RAP and you're a team medic, I will use you. You will help me until I say, right, okay, you're clear to fuck off again.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can tell you now that if I've got a tier 1 and you've been me a tier 1, you're fucking staying there and you're doing CPR on that fucker until I'm done. You're not going nowhere. That's the way it works.
Okay. Now, define a mass cast situation, somebody. In fact, Thomas, you define a mass cast to the guys.
A mass cas would be when I don't know, section, platoon level, whatever level it's at. 80-90% of them have been made combat ineffective. Well, actually, no, they're just injured to the point where they have to come back to the RAP.
Yeah.
And can't
So
continue.
this is when this gets put into use. Now, you will never find this point blank on top of a hill. It always... Is there something you'd like to share with the class, Needle?
No, I didn't. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Oh, I mean, you've interrupted me. What is it? Alright. Keep it quiet
What
next
are you
time.
after?
Right, so why would you never find one of these planked straight on top of the valve, right on the very top?
Get shot at, not.
Very obvious.
Yeah, very obvious. Very stupid idea. Everybody wants to bomb the top of a hill. Okay, so where is it going to be instead?
Hidden.
Valley.
Depression.
Okay, is it going to be right down at the bottom?
No.
No, exactly. It is going to be just before the crest of the hill. The reason for that is because the back of the hill, and it's always at the back of the hill, of the side that we're going to be attacking. That way, anything coming up that way, we know about it first. And especially if it's going brum brum. Okay, we can just peel our heads off and go, oh shit, I'm going to go and run that way very fast. Or get in that thing. So, tools that can be used within inside a regimental A post. Okay, you guys, you got a weapon system, you've got an ARD, but there is a tool that can be easily implemented and used at this RAP. What do you think it is?
Entrenching tool.
No, so this is built with entrenching tool. I'm thinking firepower. 50% of your section's firepower. What is it?
LMGs, GPMGs.
I'm pointing at it.
Vehicles.
Yeah, someone said it already. Machine gun, someone said Jimpy. LMGs.
GMP on top of that ridgeback. Not in one platoon or two platoon usually, unless I'm there, but at the Koi RAP, you'll find the ridgeback will tend to be parked beside the regimental A posts. Get a guy that is trained GPMG on there. Fucking hell, nobody's messing with my RAP. Daddy Mitchell, very happy. Cool.
The thing that I've got to say is everyone thinks that wraps are safe. I can say from personal experience, I've had suicide bombers run at my wraps, so they're not safe. So a lot of people, when you get positioned out here, you just piss about. And I can tell you now they're not safe at all.
Don't be sitting here. Don't be sitting here and going, ah, cool. Oh, I'm just going to turn away over here a second. Holy shit, that's a lot of blood. Bang. Dead. There's a reason why there's eyes out. Here we are. We all understand the way that a regimental aid post works. Very important you guys as team medics understand the way that 3Med operate these. Very, very important. Cool. If you're happy, go and take a seat. Right, you're going to teach them this, that. My voice is starting to go.
Ooh.
I'll let you do this one.
I can go
Oh,
up in the
fuck, I
world.
did it again.
You are going up in the world.
You have some bandages
Oh, actually, no,
yet,
we
though.
need to talk them through the medical menu first. Medical menu first.
Medical menu first. Of course.
Right, everybody on your feet. I don't think you can access the medical menu from your... you're sitting down.
Linstead.
Lim says, wait, I'm Googling it.
Fuck's sake. I've got the
I'm
old
not
3
gonna live
medical
that down.
document up as well.
Okay, yeah, so open your wonderful, wonderful, wonderful medical menu.
Wait, I have
Right,
a
well,
3 medical document?
No, I have the old one.
Oh, the old one. Okay. Yeah, I don't.
The old
That's
one,
out of date.
written by
Massively out of
Blizzard.
date now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
out of date.
Okay, so, yeah, open your medical menu. So, you've got your little dude in the middle. That's nice, isn't it? Nice and white. Basic people. Okay, so if you have a look across the examine and treatments, you've got different tabs. The first one is your triage card. Don't even worry about that yet. I'll go over that in a few minutes. The second one with the magnifying glass, the person inside, examine patient. If you click that, you'll be able to check the pulse and the blood pressure, and also check for response as well if they are unconscious, which I'm sure you've all seen before. If you move to the next one, that is your bandage/fractures. This will display all your bandages that you have. For you guys at the
discuss
moment,
bandages now.
you want me to discuss bandages right now?
Yeah, now you're on the bandage tab. Discuss bandages, please.
Shit me. Okay, I'll get my little finger up, my little menu. Whoop. Okay, so you're all looking at the bandages. Okay, now you guys probably only carry 3 types of bandages, which are the packing, elastic, and quick clot. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, so you don't have the field dressing. Okay, only 3 meds carry field dressing, I believe. That's cool. The field dressing is the basic, average, normal dressing. There's nothing fancy, no bells and whistles or anything like that. It's just your basic field dressing, basic bandage. Next one, you've got your packing bandage. Now, your packing bandage has the same treatment level, and by treatment, I mean it will how it stops the bleeding, the amount it stops the bleeding, as the field dressing, but it lasts a lot longer. Okay, the problem with it lasting a lot longer, the downside of it lasting longer, is when it falls off, it has a high reopen chance. Okay, so it's exactly the same as the field dressing, but lasts a lot longer and has a high reopen chance. Now, the next one is the elastic. Now, the elastic has a higher treatment rate than both the field dressing and the packing. Okay, so it has a very, very high treatment rate, so it starts out bleeding virtually straight away. I love them, myself personally. The problem is they have a very short reopen delay. So I think the longest one lasts like, the shortest one lasts like 60 seconds. So they can come off after about a minute. The good thing about, the other bad thing about them is they also have a high reopen chance. Okay. And the quick clot, which I'll show you I'll have, they have a very low treatment, so you've got to put 1,000 on just to close a cut. They are not very good at actually treating wounds. But what they are good at is they last at the same amount of time as a packing bandage. So they last a long time, and they have a low reopening chance. So when they do eventually fall off, they actually have a really low chance of actually reopening the wound. So you can actually stop wounds that way. But like I say, it will take a lot of them to close them in the first place. Now you're probably asking what's all this shite, but what it is you have to choose what bandage to use for the right situation. Okay, so I can tell you myself personally, I use the packing bandage if I have to move a casualty. Because I know it's going to last a long time. It's got average treatment. Yes, it'll be open, but I don't care about that. I just want to stop bleeding now so I can get it moving. I don't use the quick clot because it's going to take too many. Okay? I use, if someone comes to me and they're bleeding and I can deal with them straight away, I will use elastic because all I want to do is stop the bleeding so I can stitch them up. So as you can see, I'm using my bandages due to the situation at hand, and that's what you need to do. So before I move on, does anyone need me to repeat the different bandages and what they do?
Yeah, can you repeat them, please?
Okay, do you want me to repeat them all?
In a quick manner.
That's cool. Okay, so we've got field dressing, which is just your normal average treatment. There's nothing else about it, it's just an average treatment. You've got your packing bandage, which is also an average treatment. Lasts a long time, but has a high chance of reopening the wound once it falls off. You have your elastic bandage, which is a higher treatment, so virtually just stops bleeding straight away. It has a very, very short time, so it only lasts anywhere over 60 seconds to, say, 120 seconds. But also has a high reopen chance. And you've got quick clot that has a very low treatment and takes a lot to treat wounds. But it has a long, it stays on for a long time, like the packing, and it has a lower reopen chance. Everyone got that? Or was that too fast?
Okay, so everybody go to your dude. You'll find that your dude has injuries. Patch them up using the bandage system.
Oh, mine.
There should be a dude for everybody.
This
This
guy's
guy's completely fine.
this guy's already been bandaged.
Yeah, this guy is stable.
You are serious.
Yeah, he's
Wait,
already been
you're
bandaged.
lying to me, aren't you?
This
Right,
one's
hold
not
up.
injured. This one's not injured here.
Yeah.
This
mine's-
one's already been
mine's
bandaged
fine
before he
as
got
well.
here.
Yeah, this one's
Right, try
stable.
that now.
Joseph Jones is fine.
Mine's
that
fine
one.
too.
Benjamin Rich is already bandaged.
Okay, that's not gonna work. Okay. Right.
Oh god.
Great,
Am I
come
going
here.
to be I'm going to be a test
Yeah.
on it. Whoop, whoop. Here we go.
Right. Riley, up first. Bandage.
I'm taking a knee.
Actually, everybody team off, please.
I'm going to lie down then.
Everybody pick a teamie.
I just
Oh, I got
Double
a lot of
grey.
losses.
No,
Wait.
everybody pick a team. Right. Noodle, Archie,
Yo,
Who's
let's
that?
Metar, Thomas.
Hey,
oh
Matto.
Right, who hasn't got? We've got Riley, take limb step. And the last guy over there, come and get Grey.
I'm concerned about Gray's health.
Yeah,
Don't be
now
concerned
I want
about
you to
Grey.
shoot each other in the leg once.
You want to go
Hang on a
first?
What, at the same time?
Go.
you're getting
You- you give me a
fucking
shot, my
railed,
dude.
Because
mate.
you're both, you're just practicing
Wally,
putting on these
Go see
bandages.
Mitchell.
Can I take off the BFA?
Oh, where's my rifle gone?
You're gonna
That's,
need
that's
to.
going to
No,
be pretty
come here.
important, yeah.
Yeah,
I
shoot
don't have
me.
a rifle.
It
Lovely.
might be
Right.
more than once.
Shoot
Just
me.
stop fucking running away, or I will.
I'm gonna need to borrow your
boy,
rifle
he's
after
a
you shoot me,
lightweight.
Matto.
She's a lightweight.
Alright,
Can I borrow your rifle?
alright.
One large
I hope you only
bullshit.
shot her once, though, yeah?
Right,
Yeah,
you
you
need another
did.
shot?
You did.
No,
Right.
no, just
No
drop your
rush.
rifle. Let me just take that. I need to shoot you in the leg now.
Right, it's
Uh,
okay. I shot you in the
That's your
leg.
marksman trait. Did you pass your rifle training?
I shot you in the leg, and
Hey,
yes, I'm
guys.
at
Okay.
63.
Right,
What's
I'm
the
very
yeah,
surprised.
She's supposed to 5
Shoot me now.
Okay, now patch me up.
Go with.
Right,
hang on,
you pass
There
me
you
up and I'll shoot you.
You was fucked.
Awesome.
Go, patch me up.
Actually, I won't
Right,
shoot you because I don't need
patch
to
each
learn
other
this
up.
shit.
There you go, you're fine. You're not bleeding anymore. It's your you can
Hello,
shoot
babe.
me now.
There we go.
Let's stand up, right? See, look.
Yeah, you
oh,
see.
Okay, there's a
look,
lot
it
of
doesn't
shooting. I
knock
said
you out.
once.
I shot him once.
How many bullets have you fired?
One! He shot me once. I haven't shot him
Yeah,
yet.
no,
This
no,
is a
to be
nice
fair, it
beat.
shouldn't
He
be
knocked me
bleeding anymore.
unconscious.
Oh,
No,
See, look,
excellent.
it's one
Well done.
wound.
It's not my
Yeah.
fault you're a lightweight.
What
Cool.
I want to know,
Perfect.
Oh,
Fix it.
I want to know, did anyone
you.
apply a tourniquet before they started bandaging?
I
Or did
did.
they not?
Yeah,
No, because
me.
we're
Yeah,
bandaging
yeah.
immediately.
points.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
Take your
Yeah.
let me take the
I
form.
think you've upset
bleeding a
Grey.
lot,
You
but
didn't hit the
it was
top.
just
Holy
like
shit, I
bleeding.
just fell over.
Yeah, so
You did
down.
just
Only
fell
about
over.
a month.
I was wondering what you were
You
doing.
want to take
Oh,
this
I
one?
can't
Get
even
back.
stitch. Oh, that's
Yeah,
annoying.
so basically, if you get a casualty, there's a broken leg, and they run for or try and walk, sometimes
fall
they'll
over.
trip up and they'll hit the
Yeah.
deck. Right, line up just in front of the chairs so you can get a heal.
Everyone's injured.
Well, we did all get shot
Tell
in
me
the
about
leg.
it.
I
No,
think one
everyone.
person's not.
I don't know where my rifle went, but I don't have it anymore.
Who isn't injured?
I didn't
Like,
shoot him.
Who's
There's no
not been-
point. Yeah,
Blackford
it's
has not
shooting
been
me.
shot.
There's no
Someone-
point with shooting.
Oh.
Oh, right,
Come on
okay,
then,
yeah.
instead, you know, you want to.
I really do. One
Let's-
straight in the middle of the
let's-
chest.
Heal,
Cool.
heal, 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 healed, healed,
Why is it saying use,
healed,
use my foot?
healed. Did I heal you, Gray?
Yeah, I'm healed.
Fuck, should have left you. Get that weapon lowered, you know better. Right.
Ah,
Okay, so any questions to ask regarding any sort of bandages that you may be using?
Do
No.
they stack? Like the
No,
so like okay.
no, you can't stack them anymore.
Can I combine them type thing? Like if I
Not
put
really.
an elastic
Well,
on and then
depending.
no,
It
I don't
depends
think you can.
on the situation and the amount of wounds that that individual has in that area. But technically, no.
Okay.
Okay, Thomas, you have a question?
Are there particular bandages that just won't work with certain wounds, or are terrible with certain wounds?
I don't believe so. Not anymore. No, it's not a system that I said.
Yeah.
Where,
The only one that I would say is a little bit special, okay, is using elastics for crushed wounds. They work a treat. Absolutely fantastic for crushed tissue.
That's true. If elastic works,
Cool.
fantastic for anything.
Well, it does, yeah, but it's especially good on crushed tissue. Broken
Back in the
bones
day
and
when
stuff.
I was medical, and each bandage had their own purpose.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
the fourth
remember
changed
that.
it ever so slightly, but it's easier for you guys to think about now. Right. So, you guys are going to take casualties, okay? So, with that, you also need to know how to hand off a casualty, okay? 3 medical. And don't get me wrong, I mean, you might hand them off to us, okay? But we got to then hand them off to Floppy Thing up in Sky. So you better make sure your misstat reports are perfect. So next topic, misstat.
Woo,
Which
missed
Gray's
that.
going to talk about because my throat is really sore.
Okay.
In
So like I
fact,
said-
did you all stand by? In the course thing that you all signed up for, there should be a Google link in there to.
Do us a favour, stand when you've got it. Then when everyone just
Noodle,
shouting.
you need to really pay attention to this one as well, please.
Oh, I'm stuck in that menu. Fuck. There you go.
Yeah, I'll stand once you've got it, so knowing you've all got it, instead of everyone shouting it.
Medevac card, yeah.
I missed that.
Missed
Yeah,
that
missed
card.
out report, it's orange.
How many of
The
them
missed
are
that
there?
doesn't have one in-game one, does it?
No, not yet.
The very first one on the crib cards.
Oh, for fuck.
No, but it's
Yeah,
got no.
got it.
Yeah, it doesn't.
No, it's got no shortcut. Not like the 9-liner and all that.
Yeah.
No, it's not in game. Noodle's got it. Matar, you got it?
Yes, I got it.
Okay,
Alright,
stand up.
everyone sit down. Thank
That's
you very
okay.
much. Okay.
Blood.
There's a lot of blood. Okay, so as Mitchell said, this is a misstat report. So what we expect is when you have your casualty, you make a misstat report. When you hand them off to 3med, you then give your misstat report to 3med, who will then take that down Once 3 men have dealt with a casualty, they'll add their information to it and they'll pass that to JHC, i.e. on the Griffin 1 or Griffin 2, over the radio. So it's important that you get the right information and actually pass it clearly. And like we told at the beginning, communication is key. It's part of being either if you are a CCM or CMT, whichever one you are. Communication is always key. Okay, so you can all see it. So you can see, right, it spells MISTAT down the side, MISTAT. Okay, each one stands for different things. So when you well, first of all, don't worry about the ZAP number. We don't give a shit. We don't use it. We don't care about it. Okay, so the first one is the M, and that is a mechanism of injury. Okay, so what caused you to become wounded? Okay, so gunshot, explosion. Got armoured. I don't use that.
Yeah.
Fell down the
Grenade,
stairs.
IDF.
Yeah.
What caused that injury type?
Yeah. So anything, you put that in there. If you want, you can put the time. Don't worry if you don't, because it does ask you again at the bottom. So we just like to know, how you're injured. Okay. The I is injury or illness sustained. Now with this one, you can go. Well, I know Mitchell and me like it in 2 different ways. You've got the long version and the short version. The long version is something like large velocity wound to the right arm, large avulsion to the left leg, and just you just name every part off in big massive ways. What you can do instead is do something like wounded multiple large velocity wounds to multiple limbs and just shorten it down. This depends, again, like a bit like the bandages, depends on the situation. If you know that me and Mitchell are sat in a wrap and we've got like 10 casualties, I do not want you sitting there going, oh, he's got 2 large velocity wounds to the torso, he's got 2, I don't want that, because I ain't got time for that shit. Okay, I've got things to worry about, so...
Yeah, literally shorten it to, right, he's taken injuries to left arm, injuries to right arm, injuries to torso, injuries to head. Shorten it down. But
yes.
That's saying, if I'm not busy, I very much welcome that, okay, 1 times velocity wound to right arm, 1 times crushed tissue, left leg, and fucked chest. I don't know, okay? I welcome that if I'm not busy, but if I'm fucking busy, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah. I don't mind you, if someone's been shot in other limbs, which does happen, I don't mind you saying multiple wounds to all limbs. I don't mind that at all. That, to me, is fucking simple. I understand what you mean, and I can see it when I open up the medical menu. That's fine, dandy. Okay, so moving on. Next one is the S, which is symptoms and vital signs. So the first thing you find on this is the vital signs. So you'll check the heart rate or pulse and the blood pressure. You will then put that in first. And then, as you can see, you've got C, A, B, C, D, E. Okay, so then what you've got to do is you've got to work through them. So C is bleeding. Are they bleeding? Are they not bleeding? Okay, so you'd put are they bleeding? Are they not bleeding? Airways. Now, there is no airway function in Arma at the moment. So you role play this and make this up. So we normally just say airway clear, because if it wasn't clear, they're probably dead. And we don't want them to be dead. So we normally say airway clear. Now with breathing, it's up to you. I normally say breathing's fine or shallow or laboured or anything like along them lines, anything you can imagine. If you watch a lot of series or documentaries about medical stuff, you've probably got different words you can use. But you can decide what you want to call the breathing. Pulse, you just state the pulse again. So if the pulse is 69, you say pulse 69. And D, are they conscious or unconscious? Now, this is very important, as I'm sure you're aware, because it determines if they are tier 1 or tier 2. So that is very important information. Other signs is really not to do with the casualty, but to do with things like errors or bugs. So if you find that your casualty's medical menu is bugged, then that's something you would mention under E as other signs. Treatment given is the next one. So T is treatment given. So you name up what you've done. So you tourniquet the limbs, you bandage them up, you remove the tourniquets, and that's what normally you've done. I was actually going to get more technical then, but I just remembered that you're actually doing the section medic. What you can do is you can go in more detail with that if you want. You can start naming what bandages you've used and things like that, on what limbs or what wounds. If you're going to do that again, only do that if you can see that 3 med have time. If they're rushed, then don't do that. Just say that you tourniquet them, bandage them, and remove the tourniquets. With saying that, it's important to remove your tourniquets. Please remove them, because it's a pain in the ass trying to get a T1 up when they've got tourniquets on them and you didn't fucking see it because the guy who had them before you didn't remove them at all. Okay, they cause a lot of pain, it can cause a lot of damage, and it can make people go unconscious and stay unconscious. Okay, next is A for assessment of casualty. So this is where you see if they're tier 1, tier 2 or tier 3. Okay, nice and simple there. Time of wounding, again, is just when you believe they got wounded. It only has to be approximate. You can say it was 10 max ago. You can say, you can round it up to each 5, and whatever you feel, just so it gives us an idea.
Would you rather have a rounded up or down time?
I don't care, mate. I honestly don't care. Whatever you think is more. Yeah, whatever you think is better for you.
As long as you guys give the basic and required information, I'm not fussed. Okay, so what we're going to do now is you're just going to watch a demonstration, so gather around. I'm going to shoot up my little test dummy here, Gray, and we're going to show you how a misstat report is actually given.
Right, quickly first, I need to go AFK for a second.
Yeah, does everybody want to break real quick before we do this?
No, I'm good.
Yeah, good. Excellent. Yeah, we'll just wait for Riley to get back. Chat amongst yourselves for the time being. You're doing a lot of huffing and puffing, Pumpkin. What's up? Okay. Man, you guys are quiet.
La 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 la.
Except from him.
Can you shoot him now?
Wow.
And don't worry, it gives me great privilege shooting at my 2IC.
I actually come here to get shot. That's what I come here for.
Okay, he's back. Okay, gather round. I'll try not to shoot you. You get away from that guy. Don't want to shoot him, he's my best mate.
Yeah, no.
Bye, Gray.
Well, shit.
What's a drama queen?
Did you?
I fucking killed him outright. What a drama queen. Me, right.
So the time in my advanced medical, we shot someone in the foot and they died.
I just killed Gray, yeah.
Good shot.
Okay.
Best demonstration.
Right.
Maybe don't shoot him like 3 times.
It's
Maybe
I'm
once.
just going to use the Ace Medical to... Gray, rejoin the group, please.
Oh, I am in the group.
Not for me, you're not.
Leave and come back.
So demanding. Hello now to leave a group, I'm not going to lie on that one.
Interact with yourself. Team
yes, thank you. Yes, I've seen this about 1,000 times. Fucking stupid. Doo-ba-doo. Can't because you're crouching.
We'll join any of us.
Look at my bum.
Anyone.
Look at my bum.
Yeah, right, I've joined again.
There he goes, right. Try not kill you this time. Injure. You guys are patching him up, by the way. I'm not patching them up.
Let me get
Just give me a
All of us at the
demonstration.
same time, or are we all
together?
just... That's gonna be
I want
horrific.
2 volunteers.
Bandages then.
I want you to work together.
I got you.
Right. Oh, he's dead again. Oh, I hate the fucking medic.
Can I just shoot him once in the leg?
What did you do to him? 2 large
Maybe
motions to the
injure
head.
someone else that isn't such a pussy.
2 large motions to the head.
I didn't get shot
Man,
earlier.
he is the weakest. Oh man.
You shot. You did the equivalent
I
of
want
shooting twice in the
everybody when he comes back in. I want you to all point at him and go, "Ha ha, you pansy."
This is high point.
Okay.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Now.
La 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 la.
Everybody point and say, you pansy.
You pansy.
Pansy.
Come on, Cupcake, you pansy. Stop dying.
And no one's doing me, it's that guy there.
Hey, he's just too good at his job.
He's not meant to kill people.
There is a reason why I'm called Malpractice Metro. Moderate.
Thomas, stop fisting Grey.
2 volunteers, go.
Latchford.
Come on, Cupcake.
I think we need Guy.
At least I can see this one.
Thomas, go.
Hey, Gray.
Alright, work together, talk to each other.
I'll do the.
Right.
Tell each
I'll
other
do
what
the
you're
left
doing.
leg.
There's a pole.
Right, Needle, I'll do the left leg. Do the.
I'm gonna check his vitals first. Hang on.
I'll start work on him then.
Right, it's got a heart rate of 81,
Both his limbs are tourniquet.
blood pressure of.
Noodle, you should
He
be
has one large
crouched.
velocity wound on his right arm, one large on his left leg. What are you
both
treating
tourniquet.
first?
Starting bandaging the leg. Start bandaging the leg. Leg's bandaged. Take it out.
Noodle,
Yeah.
take a knee.
Take
a knee.
Yes.
I'm removing the
Thank
tourniquet
you.
from the leg.
Right, everybody, why did I tell Noodle to take a knee there?
Right.
Because otherwise she's a big fucking target.
She is a big fucking target.
Bandage your arm.
Okay,
Mitchell.
keep communicating with each other.
Right.
Talk to each other.
Arms are bandaged.
Checking heart rate again. Heart rate 81. Heart is good.
Okay, is he bandaged?
116.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's done.
Hey, hi.
Okay.
You're alive.
Gray, are you ready to receive your missed
Am I receiving a missed Shit.
Yes, you're the platoon medic for this demonstration, even though you're injured.
Yep, go ahead.
Okay, mechanism injury, gunshot. Injury sustained, 1 times large velocity wound to right arm, and has taken a correction. Yeah, no, right arm. 1 times large velocity to left leg. Symptoms and vitals: heart rate 81, blood pressure 116/77. Currently not bleeding, airways clear, breathing shallow. Pulse again 81. Currently conscious, no other signs. Treatment given: 1 times packing bandage to left leg. 1 times packing bandage to right arm. Tourniquets removed. Were applied, then removed, my bad. Assessment of the casualty, T2. Time of wounding, 9:05. Read back.
Okay, mechanism of injury is gunshot. Injury known sustained is a 1 times large avulsion to right arm and 1 times large avulsion to left leg. Symptoms and vital signs are 80 pulse 81, blood pressure 116/77. He is no longer bleeding, his airways are clear, his breathing is shallow. Again, pulse is 81 and he is conscious. No other signs. Treatment given is 1 times packing bandage to left leg, and I am a pansy.
Wound on the leg, you're open.
Yep.
If you don't understand it, speak now, because I don't want to make you go and practice this in your groups if you don't understand something.
I don't understand why you didn't just shoot him.
Well,
He
me neither.
tried.
Now, I want every single one of you to go into Gray's medical menu and tell me, other than the injuries, which I've just healed, what is wrong? What's not been done?
Can I tell you?
And it is a pet hate of mine.
It says minor.
Is it to do with the triage cards? It's not been edited.
Yes, there you go. Oh, you really are becoming my best friend.
You must be
Okay.
desperate.
I am desperate. I have no friends. Other than Gray, but
Yeah.
he thinks he's my friend.
I'm not his friend.
Yeah, triage card. Why is it very important to change the triage card to the tier or casualty?
so that anyone who sees it can know what tier he is just by looking at it, instead of having to go diagnose him again. Especially useful if they didn't hear the misstat report.
Yeah, exactly. Or if, say, we've had a casualty, but they've been left, and 3 men have to go and find them, at least we know that they have been seen to. The triage card has been changed, but by then they could have woken up and we can downgrade it. But make sure it's set to the worst tier that they were. If you have a chance to change it to downgrade it, that's fine. That's cool. Happy days. So, we're going to practice Misstat now. Pair off, please. If you've not got a partner, be grey.
Gonna stand at the side.
Archie?
Yep.
Naruto?
I did.
Yep.
Yep, there you go.
Oh, look, Lindsted's in his own. Noodle.
Noodle, go with Limstead. Noodle, Limstead,
You
go.
made fun of me earlier.
Okay,
I
actually
think
no, those
everyone
two are
here made
not.
fun of you earlier.
Thomas, swap
Oh wait, it was the
with
wrong one.
Limstead,
It was the other
please.
one over there.
Oh, too bad.
Oh, was
Swap
it?
out now.
Yeah, swap around.
The other one
Alright.
over there.
It was
Go
literally.
find yourself a nice open space.
I'll just stay with the car, it's fine.
Yeah.
What
Yourself
are
a
you?
nice open space.
It's broken. It's
Yourselves
running
onto
into a wall.
Whisper.
Cabin in the woods, huh?
Don't go too far.
It's into a wall. Help me! It's broken, Mitchell.
And now what?
What?
It was running into a wall.
I don't hear you, Riley.
Right.
And it's silent.
Can everybody hear me?
Oh my god, my mic has been muted for the past half an hour.
You're too far away.
Wow.
Yeah, we can.
What about those two in the building? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
right, cool. So what's going to happen, right? Your teammate is going to be severely wounded. You are going to patch up your teammate, and when you get your teammate back up, your teammate is going to act as a platoon CMT. He's going to ask you for a misstat report. You will give the misstat report to your teammate. All got that? I should be hearing a lot of yeses.
Yep.
Yeah, cool, great. Where are you?
I'm here.
Alright, I want you to listen into the misstats.
Oh, I'm going to jump on.
Give them
I'm gonna shoot
pointers,
people who
because
get it
this
wrong.
is going to be part of your practical assessment when we do it.
I shoot them if they get it wrong.
No.
It's all my fault.
Alright. Moderate. Moderate.
You're gonna die.
I'm gonna get You're gonna die.
Go.
I'd take it with
Dead
dead
man.
side.
Andre. Go.
Right then.
Oh.
Oh, God.
Oh, I'm back.
There we go. Let's look.
Oh, fucking move, please.
Right, Mitch, have you knocked them all out?
Die on me.
Pretty much. There's one thing I did not hear once there. Was man
about to say.
down, man down, man down.
About to say the same thing.
Yeah. Come on, where's the man down, man down?
Yes, man down.
Exactly. Well done.
I'm not mad. What are you saying?
Yeah, I think
Okay,
Thanks,
woman
Mr.
down,
Tourniquet.
woman down. Fuck me.
Thank you. I made to do it with my what is it?
Non-gender binary thingy down.
I'm a woman.
Yeah,
Fucking
I'm
hell, how hard is it?
You would be surprised.
Which will
with
make
my
you hurt
brains.
him.
Multiple. Oh, God. Basically, I'm missing an arm, I'm missing a leg.
Call me a thingy, bro. Call me a thingy. Am I still injured or am I just...
Yeah,
oh my
you're
god,
still
how
injured.
fucked am I? How am I so fucked for this long? What have you done? Oh, hello. Rather quite intimidating.
What, considering I'm bandaging the floor that's next to
No.
you, not actually you?
Watching Gray stare down at me. Yeah, I know, it's taking fucking forever.
because I'm not entirely sure how long this is
Grey,
going
don't
to
just
last.
focus on these, get around the grid, please.
Endure a lot of pain.
Help me.
Holy fuck, you got fucked.
I know. You don't say
Basically
you're the one that
everything
did
except
it.
your head that got fucked.
Yeah, I'm lucky then.
Who we got here? Lynchford,
Am I done yet?
try,
Yeah.
remember
sorted.
the best bandages and
Right.
stuff.
Cupcake.
You're getting on top of
Missed
it,
it
you notice
report.
it's slightly
Missed that part.
less red and
Oh,
it's almost pink.
Mechanism of injury unknown. Magic.
It isn't fully healed until it's blue.
Okay.
Injury sustained.
What does the
Large avulsions to the torso, right arm,
Mitchell?
and both legs. Fucking
Removing tourniquets.
Come on.
fuck.
Okay.
That's what I've got to do. Vital signs. Casualty was unconscious and then became conscious. Treatment given.
Alright.
Tourniquet on both legs and right arm. Packing bandages
Great.
applied to two
What's
times
the,
to chest,
what is-
2 times to right
no.
arm, 1
Okay, you two done a miss that yet?
right leg,
Not yet.
Not yet.
leg.
He was
Okay,
severely
thought you missed that.
Tourniquet is then removed
Yeah.
from right arm.
Yeah.
Both legs.
So you wouldn't
Okay.
Assessment.
Uh,
Mechanism of... Hang on, I'll put myself on whisper. Mechanism of injury.
That didn't help.
You
Yep.
have no more wounds.
Okay.
You had multiple wounds to both legs, both arms, and torso.
The way you do it is
Uh,
you actually
injury or
have
illness
to be
sustained,
ready
you've
to
been-
receive the mister.
7 approximately.
Oh wait, mechanism, sorry. You've been struck by the higher power. Injury has been multiple wounds to legs and arms and torso.
Right, here's the information. you
Your
can get,
symptoms,
right. Mechanism.
you are no longer bleeding,
Injuries,
your airway is
sustained
clear,
large to
your
torso,
breathing is steady,
legs, and
your
right
pulse
arm.
rate is
Symptoms, didn't give me any
83,
vital signs.
8-3.
Yeah.
You didn't tell me
You
there
are
was
conscious.
bleeding,
There's
you didn't tell me the airway,
no other
or
signs.
breathing,
Treatment
pulse
given.
didn't give me, was unconscious
Multiple
and became
packing bandages have been
conscious.
applied.
No other signs.
Tourniquets
treatment
have been
given,
applied and
tourniquets
since
and
removed.
Packing bandages to wounds.
Assessment of casualty is
Assessment,
tier
you said
2.
tier 3, and the
Time
time
of
was
wounding
21:17.
was 13:55.
Yeah, because I'm
Okay.
The assessment, you just give tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and that would have been a tier 2 because I'm still
Okay.
severely injured.
You done with stats?
And
Yep.
Yeah, I just gave it to him.
Any issues?
battle ineffective.
I
Make sure you
can't tell
give.
you about
swapped mechanism and injury around, but
Do we
caught
have
on
to
to
go
it,
give this
so no.
to-
Yep,
that
okay.
was
That's
tier
cool.
1.
Right,
And
if
then
you're
go
injured,
to
go and
2.
stand in the middle of the road. You'll get healed.
You put your
Yeah.
subconscious after you become tier 2.
But but I am battle ineffective because I've literally had my legs and arms wiped out, and if you watch, I'm
There
limping.
you go.
But you can tell that just because of the
T2, but
evolution.
you didn't walk enough for me to determine T2.
Yeah, okay, if you're injured, just stand over there. Okay, if you're injured, stand in the middle of the road.
Okay, hang on.
Right, so what you do now is you request feedback. And you then read back.
Mitchell,
The last would make
Go
you
ahead.
request a
Yates is
feedback.
getting me a woman put
And
in.
then Archer reads it back.
Excellent.
He just
That's
sent
what I
me the
wanted.
thingy. She's got a ponytail as well.
No one doing it now?
Oh,
That
man.
requesting the feedback?
Oh, I'm so excited. And like a proper body.
Right, I'm doing it, mate. I've got it. Don't worry. It's all good.
Gonna look great.
Alright,
Okay,
so that's
if
the
you go back
mate.
to your
Request the
partners.
feedback, and then he gives you a readback of the mister. Diz.
Oh, you have requested.
Okay,
Right.
right. We having troubles over here, guys.
No, so we're just
Mechanism of
missing
Mitchell,
Gunshot wound.
Okay, yeah.
he's gone.
Injuries sustained.
Oh, there he is. Okay, he disappeared. Where did he go?
I didn't go anywhere.
Okay, okay. I need to work on your navigation skills, lady.
I'm not dead. I'm not blind. He wasn't here. I shit you not. He just vanished.
Airways are clear, breathing shallow.
The fuck? Where'd he go?
Pulse is
I went
Right,
nowhere.
you've been
I was
healed.
right
Back to your partner.
117 over 78. other none.
I am alive again.
Yeah, welcome back to the land of the living. I was actually wondering, where in Mestat do you give the blood
Make me
pressure?
look dumb in front of it. No.
I don't think you do give it.
No.
Okay.
Casualty, tier 2.
Well, I wrote it down.
Time of living, 155.
That's gonna be exciting.
Yeah, so if you get to read back, if it's correct, you say read back correct. If not, you say amendments that have been made. Like,
Yeah, so you just go over the bits that were wrong. You don't need to go over the whole thing. Just go, just check bandages applied or check wound type, and happy days. Okay, you need heal.
I stitched him because he was beat up with quite a lot.
Yeah. Medical. You would then assess that at the time. If the two medics are not with you at that time, you will then add it to your misstat. If it's changed whilst giving the misstat, then you'd obviously put that in further information. Like I said, additional information grey is a pansy. Remember that? Okay. Cool. Right, everybody who was injured, sit down. Right, okay. Noodle, Limstead?
Great.
Oh, man.
Man down, man down, man down.
Oh, right.
Yo,
Man down.
Holy crap.
Man down, man down, man down.
Holy shitballs. Right, okay, so he's conscious. Right.
Fine tourniquet to right arm.
Yeah, alright.
This is 81.
Fine tourniquet to right leg.
What you doing? All
Yeah,
time.
I'm giving tourniquets to him.
Right,
Applying tourniquets.
Fine tourniquet to left leg.
right, tourniquet on left leg.
Then I was talking to you.
Packing bandage and shaft.
Tourniquet,
Yeah,
right
so
leg.
basically what you should be doing is applying basic bandage to left leg and talk out loud, talk to yourself.
tourniquet
Really
right
helps,
arm.
trust me.
Just because I can't
Packing
use it.
bandage chest.
Right. Torso, 1 times large
Packing
lost
bandage
wound,
to
elastic
torso.
bandage.
Holy crap, you got fucked.
Chest dealt with. Packing bandage in right arm.
Bandage of the torso,
Damn, you got fucked too.
bleeding. Left leg, elastic bandage.
I'm not bleeding.
Packing bandage in right arm.
Left leg stop bleeding, right leg, elastic bandage.
Why is Noodle not patching them?
Elastic bandage in right leg.
Oh, right, okay.
Right arm, elastic bandage.
Yeah, keep an eye on this bit.
I feel inclined to point out that this is probably not the proper DDoS.
Right, casualty.
Elastic bandage in left leg.
It's probably network lag.
Pulse 82.
It's odd how you're
And
slowly
check blood
moving
pressure.
forward.
111.
Moving
Yeah.
tourniquet.
Can't see because actually hit in the way.
Good news is I'm an IT technician, so
74.
I know this.
Moving tourniquet.
Right, so well,
Tourniquets
you're in
removed.
danger of dying in a minute, so we'll do the,
And you are alive.
Yay!
I'm in train.
Alright, so go ahead for a misstep.
Okay, mechanism of injury. Multiple bullet wounds.
Instead, you
Injury
two are in so
around
much pain, it's unreal.
sustained. Left leg, right leg.
can I
Torso and right arm sustained. A large avulsion from velocity wounds. Symptoms and vital
Oh my
signs.
god, that is worse than Noodle's cry.
Catastrophic bleeding. Airway open. Breathing regular. Pulse rate.
Yeah, I'm still making it.
Heart rate 81.
Yeah.
Conscious. No other signs. Treatment given. Elastic bandages. And packing bandages. Tourniquets applied and removed. Casualty started as T1, moved to T2. Time of wounding is 10:05.
I'll accidentally end these into Mitchell's arm.
Alright, we do
Okay.
a repex roll, right?
That's how much it hurts.
Right, so you were team medic there? Yes?
Yeah.
No, you were attending medic. So you gotta read that back to him now.
Okay.
And then
Alright, mechanism of injury, multiple gunshot wounds, injury or illness sustained, wounds to both legs, torso and right arm, symptoms, vital signs, not bleeding, airways open, breathing is regular, pulse rate is 8-1, conscious, no other signs. Treatment given, elastic bandages and packing bandages, tourniquets have been applied and removed. Assessment of casualty was tier 1, is now tier 2, time of wounding 10:05.
Okay. So what's the importance and why do we have missed-out reports?
To let the medics know what they're dealing with.
Okay, yeah, okay. Now, communication has been a vital thing here, okay? So as an assessment now, what we're going to do is I'm going to wound Grey like a motherfucker, right? And you're going to work in threes, okay, to patch him up. You're going to communicate between yourselves, tell each other what you're doing, why you're doing it, not why you're doing it, but all that kind of stuff. What I suggest, you put somebody on blood pressure and heart rates and saying what type of injuries that this person has. You get somebody on tourniquets, you get somebody on bandages. Set yourself a little kind of work team going, okay? No, I want you to stay back
Let's
with Archer.
You do the tourniquets and calling out the wounds.
Oh, you stuck with me.
Matar, you go bandage. I'll
go.
Do blood pressure. Man down, man down, man down.
Man down.
We'll be fine.
Right, then 20k to left arm, large
That's
bullshit.
not right on the start.
Right, then
He's got a large avulsion wound on his left arm. Philosophy
Packing
wound on his right
bandage.
arm.
Applying packing bandage to
Do you
torso.
like vitals and all that bollocks when I do the tourniquets and the
Right.
bandages?
Alright, applying
He's got a
20k
large
Ooh, that's not
avulsion on
medic
his
talk.
chest.
I don't like that medic talk. I'm bollocks.
If
No,
Applying packing
that's not
bandage
how it
to
works.
torso.
20k to
make sure
left
you have a
arm.
notepad and paper as you're
He's got a large avulsion
applying the
on his
treatment.
right.
Write
You don't
down
get on
what.
whisper.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Okay,
Right,
applying
Packing
as
bandage
you're,
to right
you know,
arm.
treating it, like while
Large
you're
philosophy
bandaging,
wound on his
write
left
down
leg.
what you've
packing
bandaged.
to right leg.
Injury, and then it'll be
All tourniquets attached.
Yeah.
Let me know when he's patched.
Right, so you're doing
Applying
vitals,
packing to
Checking
right
his
arm.
pulse.
tourniquets, bandages.
Heart rate of 42, it's low.
Gray, I hope you're writing down
Applying
your
packing to left arm.
Yeah, I'm writing down
Packing
what?
on left leg.
write down what you've injuries.
Oh, shit.
Hurry up. Once he's completely blue, I want you to step away from him.
He's completely blue.
Including tourniquets.
Alright, step
taken off.
away.
Have tourniquets been removed?
No. I was just told to
Right,
step
Gray,
away.
tell me when you've got everything.
Yeah.
Get away from the casualty.
Oh, he still has tourniquets though.
It's fine. Just just now. Make sure
Yeah.
that's in your missed out report though.
Okay.
Alright, okay, go and confide somewhere away from the other group. Okay, what I want you to do now. Who is the guy giving missed out report to Gray?
Okay.
I can do that.
Minis.
Alright.
You'll be doing that. Have you had a discussion about any of this just now?
With, yeah, well, we've talked it
I
over.
hope so.
Yeah.
Right, okay, so give the missed out to Gray, please.
Alright.
No.
Okay. Mechanism of injury.
Why?
Well, struck by card.
What?
Yeah. He's
Struck by a car.
struck by God is what we ended up with. Well, got a lot of wounds. Could be shot,
Okay.
could be explosion wounds. The
Make it up.
right. The
For this example, just make it
When
up.
I was doing my advanced medical last night, right? I can't remember
okay.
what it was
He's
called. I
a
kept
victim
calling it a
of
Flappy
large
Whale thing.
explosion. Injury
Every
or
time I
illness
called it a
sustained.
Flappy
He's
Whale
got
thing, me and,
a large velocity wound on his
Grey
left
had
arm,
one. She
a
very
large
started resenting
avulsion
me
wound
after
on
a
his
while.
right arm, a large avulsion wound on
Not
his
fucking
chest,
Flappy Whale thing.
a large avulsion wound on his right leg, and a large velocity wound on his left leg. Symptoms: he is no longer bleeding, patient's airway is clear, his breathing is okay, his pulse rate is 4-2, he is conscious, and I have a
You'll
blood
probably ask
pressure
us
of
if you have names, to be
101
honest,
over
as well.
67, no other signs.
Guys took your notes.
Treatment given:
I have all my notes from
4
yesterday, so I feel like I'm
tourniquets have
cheating,
been
'cause I've literally done this
applied, one to
yesterday.
each limb. These have not been yet removed. Patient has received 2 times packing bandage on
Did you
right
literally
arm,
write up a
chest,
transcript
right
of what
leg,
you're saying?
left
I thought,
leg,
from
and
yesterday,
1
I
times
did like
packing
6
bandage
pages,
on
and then today
left
I've done
arm.
like 4.
Casualty is currently tier 2. Time of wounding 21:45.
The advanced medical was
Okay.
easier than this. Surprisingly.
Would you like a readback?
I'll have to remember that one.
I would like to read back.
You would like a readback? Okay, method of injury is a large explosion.
Did like
Injury
everything
sustained
we've done here apart from
is a
this
large,
but I've done those
of
on
large
top.
velocity, I believe, to left arm and left leg. A large avulsions to right arm, torso, and right leg. Symptoms of vital signs are his pulse is 42 and his blood pressure is 101 over 67. He's no longer bleeding, his airway is clear, his breathing is okay. Again, his pulse is 42, he's conscious and no other signs. Treatment given is tourniquet applied to all limbs and packing bandages applied to all wounds. Assessment of casualty is a tier 2 and time of treatment, time of wounding is at 21:45. Is readback correct?
Readback is correct.
Roger. Thank you very much.
What did you say?
Okay, go back to your place, chaps. Don't go all the way up the hill this time, but send group 3 over, please.
Yeah.
Right, that was the Mistat competition. Okay. If you think your team won the Mistat challenge, stand under the camo netting. If you think you lost the camo, the Mistat, stand under that camo.
Alright, so that one's winning.
Yeah, let's go in the
That
middle.
one, not.
Yeah.
That one. Well, get under it then. You're not under it there. You're sat in the middle of them.
Which side are they going to
I don't
choose?
trust
Are
you
they going to
guys.
go left? Or are they going to go right?
That's
We
okay.
like to say that all teams are equally skilled.
Yes, get under a fucking tent. Right, okay, great on me.
So of course it's going to be them.
Group 1, front 7 from me. Okay. You might have a nice smug look on your face, but you did not win that one.
Got cover.
The reason being, you made it more harder than it needed to be. So,
My bad.
you guys. Over there, please. Group 2. Front and center. In fact, actually, Group 3, come in as well.
Oh.
Come in the center. Okay. So how do you think you did, Group 2?
Decent.
Decent? Okay, what about Group 3?
The
It kind
treatment
of
went well,
fucked
but
itself up.
not the misstep.
Okay. Well, Group 3, you are the weakest link. Goodbye. Group 2, you are the winners of that challenge. Well done.
This is the closest I can get to clapping.
Okay, so this you're going to get to do it in a group, where the rest they have to do it individually, except them. Okay, as a group, can you tell me which is the best bandage to use on an individual?
Under what circumstance?
Elastic.
Okay. Give me a low heart rate.
38.
Okay, Riley, you don't get to ask.
Give us a
Give
chance,
me the
mate.
next answer. Okay, what is the importance of doing a misstart report?
It allows the medics to know what they're dealing with when you hand someone over.
Okay. Defined a tier 2. Wolo.
Tier 2 casualty is someone who's conscious but combat ineffective.
Okay. Defined tier 4. Thomas.
A tier 4 is somebody who's passed away. No heart rate, no pulse, but they're the same fucking thing. No heart rate, no blood pressure, no response, but only 3 med can declare this.
Okay. Can somebody tell me 8?
Yeah. Alert. Alert, eliminate, evacuate, treat.
Okay, and can somebody tell me brace?
Brace is...
Quick, Google.
Stop bleeding, or bleeding stop. Then it's... Why the fuck direct is vertically? I'm so fucking dumb.
Okay, moving on. Give it a whopper. What is the risk of somebody that has a high heart rate?
Cardiac failure, arrest, heart attack.
If it's over
Can
200.
somebody tell me what a contusion is?
Bruise.
Okay, can somebody tell me what a puncture wound is?
It's a penetrating wound with no exit, where the thing is normally
Okay.
still inside.
In a group of casualties, who requires priority treatment?
Tier 1.
Okay. Right, how do you think you've done?
Okay.
Yeah, you got one wrong, which was brace. You didn't answer it quick enough.
Oh,
Brace, bleeding, consciousness, CPR, evacuate.
Yeah.
The best way to remember 8 and brace is using the following verse. I ate while I brace eating. Okay. Well done. Stand up on your feet. Turn to each other. And congratulate each other for passing the team medical qualifications.
Congratulate.
Congratulations.
Congratulate.